A pan shot simply describes left and right turning of the camera across the horizon, while tilt is up and down. Now these movements are great at revealing information to your audience or for following a subject without having to rely on a cut. Tilts in particular are going to be frequently used for showcasing scale, and this can be done great for a build or for making a character feel smaller or larger depending on the exact placement of the camera, so be sure to take note of that. Setting up either shot is extremely easy. As with anything, we're going to start off with the camera element, and we're going to set that first keyframe. Now I want to follow this and I want to make sure this is as smooth as possible, so I'm going to go ahead and lock my pitch. That's going to make sure that I can't move up and down. You see, I'm trying really hard. So let's go ahead and reset. Move me over to here. As I come up through the screen, I'm just going to turn the camera and you'll see that second keyframe, and there we go. And setting up a tilt shot is going to be much the same. What we can do here is maybe we want to do a nice heroic reveal. So we're going to set our first camera element. We're going to add a keyframe. We're going to go to right about here because I don't believe, nope, I haven't moved yet. And we're going to lock the yaw. I don't want to rotate left or right at all. I just want to go up and down. And we're going to go ahead and bring this up here, and then we can add our keyframe. We can see here a nice little reveal. And one of my favorite camera movements is the whip pan, which is simply a pan that whips left or right extremely fast, and it can add a lot of dynamic energy to a scene or even hide a cut as you transition to another one. In order to set this up, it's very simple. We want to make sure the lock pitch so it stays at the same level. We're going to make our camera element. We're going to add our first keyframe, go over just one tick because we want this to be fast. And let's say I want to turn left, and we're going to add our second tick. Go ahead and double click here to snap back, and it's pretty fast. So let's go ahead and zoom in on the timeline by scrolling in, and we're going to slow things down so that we can see what's happening. Oh, and you can see that we actually turned right instead of left, and that's because Flashback will prioritize based off of the angle of the camera, not necessarily the physical way you turned it. So if we want to make sure that we turn left, all we're going to do is delete this keyframe, and instead of being at a 180, we're just going to do like 179, something like that. We can do right there, that should get it. Now if we reset, you should see that yep, that time we went left, which is what we wanted. Now, some of you might have been able to see it, and I'm going to try to slow this down in the edit. But we don't actually have any motion blur, and that's a problem because we won't be able to hide a cut, and it's just not going to look as clean as it can with motion blur. You are going to want a shader. Most will support this. Now, where exactly this is going to differ from shader to shader. For Reimagined, it's in the camera. We just want to turn on motion blur, apply, and that's it. Now, whenever we reset everything and we play, you see there's a bit of motion blur, and it's in that motion blur that we're going to be able to hide a cut or a transition to your next scene.